Hello, I'm Assistant Professor Christopher Terry. I work in the Hubbard School of Journalism and Mass Communications, where I teach and do research on media law and media policy issues. My uh, project that I would like to talk to you about today is an extension of many of the research projects I've done in the political and election area, where I have used the Federal Communications Commission's database to examine the actual political advertising patterns that occur in broadcast, radio, and television. My project that I'd like to talk to you about today is one I did with PhD candidate Fernando Diaz, who is now an assistant professor in the state of California, graduate of our program. He and I looked at the political advertising that was occurring on Spanish language radio stations during the 2018 election. Using the FCC database, we used a digital collection mechanism to gather all of the information from the database about the ads, both issue and campaign ads, so candidate ads and issue ads, that were running on Spanish language radio during the 2018 election cycle. Spanish language radio is used by a very distinct group, very distinct demographic group, but represents an amazing outreach to that group. And by that, I mean Latinos and Hispanics who have Spanish as either a first or second language. Adult Latino and Latinx members of our society tend to use Spanish radio. Almost 90% of them are exposed to it in a week. So the messaging which occurs in there is pretty powerful. And we wanted to see what issues and what types of messaging was used to outreach to that group through this sort of niche format of radio. There are 17 different formats that use Spanish language, major formats that use Spanish language in the United States. And it represents about 577 of the radio stations in the United States, many of which are in pretty large population centers, but not all. There are a fair number of stations in small areas. What we did is we collected all the data from the advertising that occurred during the 2018 cycle, political advertising during the 2018 cycle, and we examined it to see what the ads were about. And we had two major findings from the study. Number one, our suspicion that immigration would play a big role because of the role it played in the other election messaging occurring in 2018. It really wasn't any more of a significant issue than sort of your traditional bread and butter political issues. Education, healthcare, and jobs, even taxes, were more salient in the places that it appeared. But our more surprising finding is that despite the fact that Spanish language radio really talks to a very specific demographic group quite well and quite effectively, less than 1/3 of all the Spanish language radio stations in the United States had any form of political advertising at all, 2018. Our conclusion, that if you want to reach this group, a growing demographic group in our society, that there's an opportunity to do there very inexpensively in political advertising terms. I hope you've enjoyed this little talk, and I hope that you'll pursue our research. Thanks for having me, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.